Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share and play. Hello everyone, I've been playing with paper buttons. So I thought I'd show you just quickly the method that I use to make these little buttons. I've got some hole punch circles and here I'm just punching out a little bit of card, and all I do is I glue whatever I want the buttons to look like. So in this case, it's a little piece of book page, and I glue the book page to the piece of card. That just gives it a little bit more substance, so a little bit more thickness, but still keeps the button really, really nice and thin for our journals. So if you're like me and you love buttons, if you like using lots of buttons, it's just another way to make your own buttons, but also keep things nice and thin. And I mean, this isn't original. It's not my idea. It's just what I've come up with, as in it's my take on making paper buttons. So what I like to do, because where I struggle is getting the holes right in the middle. So I actually use another button just to draw through so that I can make sure that I get the holes on the right piece. The other little thing is you can just poke these holes with a pokey tool. I happen to have this lovely tiny hole punch, and I actually do get quite a lot of use out of this, but that just helps me punch beautiful holes, because obviously when you do it with a pokey tool, you can, sometimes get a little bit of tearing, or it's just not quite as neat as what you'd like it. So yeah, I love this tiny little hole punch. So that's all it is. And there you go, you've got your button. So then all you're needing to do is ink the edges, if you like inking your edges. I love inking my edges, obviously, and you can also ink the little tiny holes. So I sometimes use a little brush just to show the hole a little bit more. And then you can actually tie your threads through so that they're ready to put down, and it just shows them as a button even more, or you can leave them without thread. Like, it's all up to you. And now what inspired me to actually make some more paper buttons is I just have a ton of circles at the moment that I've punched out at different times. And on the right there, you can see the little heart and the circle that I'm inking up now, and the squares. They were actually die cut buttons. Like, I've got a die cut. It's a size X one. So I decided that I did them out of some book pages, and I coloured them with some watercolours, and I thought, I've got a whole heap of circles, I must get them out and use them and make some regular paper buttons as well. So it was a great way to get through some of my stash. Use what you have. That's what we're trying to do this year, especially over at our Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group. And then I also used some of my big circles, so the size X buttons that I cut out. I did like a double layer button on these ones. So I had a big circle in the back, and then I put a little button on top of them. So yeah, I had lots of fun. This is the thread. I decided that I'd use two different colour threads. One's just a wax cotton that I've got that I use for binding my books. The other one was a nice brown linen thread that I have. And I just liked the little finish on the buttons on some of them to have two different threads. I mean, I used all kinds of threads, obviously, and all I'm doing is I'm just tying a reef knot or a square knot, right over left and under, left over right and under, just trimmed up the edges, and there you go. Looks like a little ready-made button. And so that's all I'm doing on the three that you saw me punch out and glue together and then punch the little holes into them, is I'm just tying some little threads through, choosing some different pieces, and there you go. Like, it gives you something that's all ready to put into a book. So I can use it on pages, I can use it on clusters, I can use it on journal cards. You know, possibilities are endless. They're so quick and easy to make. So here you are, just giving you a little bit of a closer look. That's one of the double levels. I also punched out using my square punch and put some on top of those. Here's one that I even did a little bit of sewing around, and there they are all together. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you also enjoy making paper buttons. And I mean, you can layer them up in all sorts of ways. So there are lots of different things that you can use them for, and a bit of a fun way to get through your stash. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!